WCLU news coverage of the 2020 general election is brought to you in part by HVAC Services.
Alexa, HVAC repair services, please.
Professional and friendly, great service and great products. If you want HVAC done right, go with HVAC Services.
Home of the same-day guarantee, with heating and cooling coverage on any brand at any time.
Welcome today, Angela. You know, you're a council candidate for Glasgow City Council this year, and I know that's an exciting thing for you. You've kind of had a lot of different things going on the last several months since you filed for candidacy, but welcome today.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's, like I said, it's odd to be on this side
Sure.
for the interview, but I'm excited.
Sure. So, of course, just a little introduction about you. I mean, I could tell people about you, but I want you to tell people about you. But referring to that there, you know, alluding to your former employment at WCLU and the news, a way of doing things and just really connecting with people as a reporter. Now you are being connected with by reporters. So talk a little bit about who you are, Angela.
So I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a lot of things wrapped up in one, but the main thing I am is somebody that I like to get things done, like actual things. I don't, more and more you see people talking about what they're going to talk about the next time they talk. And I'm not like that. I was the news director here for 6 years, meddled around in everything, covered several counties of news, met a lot of people, met a lot of great people, helped a lot of people tell their stories, and now I'm at the Boys and Girls Club, which has been an amazing experience. I think sometimes news you can almost become kind of cynical, but being at the club, I mean, seeing those kids and the difference you can make has really been a game changer. So.
Sure. So being integrated into the community has been an important part for you.
Well, it's been huge. We've got actual initiative now, club and community, which the club kids are getting out and they're doing projects with people that live here in Glasgow.
Sure. So talk a little bit about why you were inspired to, of course, get involved specifically with Glasgow City Council. And a little bit later, we can talk about some of your other involvements, too, I know, around the state.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to file to run for council because, for years you were in news, it's got to be unbiased. You've got to be up the middle, and it's really hard to call out a lot of the stuff that you see that people may see as one side or the other. I think Glasgow is a wonderful city. I think there are tons of great things going on, but I think we miss out on a lot of stuff that really could do big things for the city. And then I think that I'm in a unique position to know the way the council works, the way city government, county government works with state government, and I think that that's what's needed on city council is somebody that knows how to get the things done they can actually do and how to really do good things for the city.
Sure, and you talk a little bit about your characteristic of getting things done. I had mentioned in a previous interview about, a lot of the time with political candidates especially, we see this. We see a lot of people saying what they want to do and how they're going to do it. But often once they get into that office, you see a bit of a static era, if you will. So talk about what is the key to getting things done in your opinion, and how might you accomplish that if elected? Well,
so I think the first thing is that the candidates need to understand exactly what they can do on the city council. I mean, all that's lined out in KRS. I mean, the guidelines of what the mayor does, what the council does, how they interact, what they're in charge of, what they're not. I think understanding that is going to be the first thing that's going to make a good candidate, and then working within those parameters, right? So while I can't fix the potholes on West Main because that's not a city street, I can certainly work on other city roads. While I can't micromanage one utility, maybe, I can certainly do things to help the people in Glasgow that may be facing problems.
Sure. So over the last 2 years come January, which will be time for the new council, what do you think has been one of the largest issues in your opinion? I know there's a multitude of things that, we could point out, but in your opinion, what is probably the hottest topic, and what do you think should be a remedy if you were elected?
To me, I don't think that we've gotten the best bang for our buck. As you say, you can go back and watch city council meetings. The vast majority of what they've done, they've approved board and commission appointments and budget items. That's it. Like, there's no new initiatives. We hear what they're against. But as far as any hot topic, I don't think they've tackled any real issue that they could actually change. It's like we're in a hamster on a wheel. They're going, but we're not getting anywhere. And then I think from a public perception standpoint, I've had people ask me, why on earth would you want to be part of that? Well, because at some point, somebody's got to be like, are y'all kidding me right now? we need to be working for the city. I think there's a disconnect between those that make the rules and the people that have to live by them. I mean, and I cannot sit on the sidelines anymore. I've got, somebody's got to get in there and come up with some new ideas. We can't just keep doing the same nothing over and over.
Sure, and again, progressivism has been a topic too in some of this interview series here. So talking about, again, if you're elected, that's kind of what we're always looking forward to, if you're elected. Well, it's been a bit of a tricky, I guess, campaign trail, I guess, with council, during the age of COVID and trying to connect with people, and that's hopefully what, this interview might do, reaching a certain demographic. But what would you tell people once you are elected, the first day that you're in there at a council meeting, what do you think that should look like? And given that you have enough experience covering it and just being involved in it, what should a new council member do like yourself?
So I think that there's two different types of representatives. There's a representative of the people and a representative for the people. I want to be a representative of the people, meaning I will take their voices. I can't tell you what I'll do on day one, because if I'm elected, that's when, I want people to come to me. I want to be like, all right, what are the top 3 things? I think the first thing the council ought to do is figure out where the city wants to go. And that's not something I can say, or any individual can say, but I think that's a collective. And I think that you figure out, all right, here's where we want to be. Maybe we want more industry. Maybe we want more business. We've got to rethink the way that we do workforce right now, the way we do industrial development. All of those things are part of a larger conversation, which come back to quality of life. People can think quality of life is just like a park here or something there. It's about how people that are living in the city, how their life actually goes. And I think an ideal council candidate would take those voices and realize, all right, the average person living in Glasgow, right? Maybe they're having trouble with housing, right? Maybe they're having trouble with, they're not making enough money. They're in a low-wage job. Maybe their job just left Glasgow, and they want to figure out what they need to do next. I think there's tons of things that can be done within the parameters of the city council that I don't see them being done now. I think there's a total disconnect.
Well, changing up a little bit, talk about your slogan. I see that often, and let's talk Glasgow, right?
It's Glasgow, we need to talk.
Or we need to talk, right? Okay, I butchered it, so.
So that was kind of done like, when you love somebody, and you know they've got so much potential and you just really love them, but they're acting crazy. You sit them down and you say, hey, we need to talk. Well, Glasgow, we need to talk, and I think that, that's it. I think there's a lot of things to talk about. And I think that a lot of people have a lot to say. And I think that they should be heard.
Sure. And also, much like a job interview, you might be asked, well, what are your strengths or what are your weaknesses? So what would you consider are some of your strengths?
My strengths, I think that I do have an understanding of the way government works. I have an understanding of the way we've gotten to where we're at now. And I think I've got the ability to ask questions to get at what the problems are or what the great things going on are. I think that's a unique quality that I have. I think that I have a very good, I have the ability to kind of navigate through a lot of the quagmire that can become, city government, especially when it comes to, I understand the political side of things. I understand the news side of things. I understand, who are the key players that got us to where we're at. And I think that I don't have an issue with speaking up at all. I don't have an issue with asking hard questions, I think that that's what we need. I think if you're in a council meeting and something is said that isn't true, somebody should be like, hey, that's not true. And I think that once we can get to that point where everybody's on the same page, having a real conversation, there's no telling what we can do.
Sure. So now that we've covered, a lot of different things just about who you are, what your, ideology is, and that's the plan of this. Perhaps I've missed something. Is there something that you think that I failed to ask you that you want to share?
So I think that at the end of the day, here's the deal. National politics are way over here, right? We're in Glasgow, Kentucky. And I think that people need to be reminded that everybody here knows each other, right? You know them, you know their parents, their family, and we can all work together regardless of where anybody stands on anything else, And the second that we realize that, and the second that that mindset changes, we can build on the things we're doing great. If you look around the city, there's some really great things going on. right? But we have to talk to each other and get past a lot of that other stuff to realize, wow, okay, that's my neighbor, you know. They're not the enemy.
Sure. Well, we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you very much.
Covering a lot of this. I know there's still a lot more to cover. And, you know, hopefully in November we'll see what happens. And we wish you the best of luck, of course.
Thank you. And I also want to encourage anybody, reach out to me if they've got questions, if they want to know, you know, what about this? Where do you stand on that? I'd be more than glad to tell them. If I don't know something, I'll tell them, hey, I don't know, but I'll look into it.
Sure. And what's the best way to reach you?
I'll have a Facebook page, Angela Briggs for Glasgow City Council, and I'll have all the info there.
Good deal. All right. Again, we appreciate you coming in.
All right.
And best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brennan Crane, News Director for WCLU Radio. Thank you for watching this portion of our 2020 election coverage. Visit us at WCLUradio.com and online at Facebook and Twitter for the latest and breaking news updates.